Dope style, funky dope. Man, what? Bum, 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 bum. Nice and smooth. Yo, shout out to them, Greg Nice and Smooth B. This is your boy Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. App like y'all got some sense. Come on, smash the like and subscribe button. Goes a long way. We appreciate it on the channel. Crazy jam-packed show today. First show, because this is a two-show Thursday, just catching up, hitting my stride. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. How bad are the Jets? I know everybody was supposed to have the Jets as this highly valued team because they got Aaron Rodgers. Also, he's actually underachieving when it comes to his peers in the length of time that he's been in the NFL. We'll go ahead and cover that. Also, Mason Rudolph. Do the Titans look better without Mason Rudolph or without Will Levis? I don't know. That's a fair question. Then we're going to talk some dog pound. Cleveland. What happened? There was so much high hopes going into the season, and now to see Cleveland? Come on now. It's for you. Then again, I was taking a victory lap because I told people that the Buffalo Bills were in trouble. They were playing inferior competition, and when they played the Ravens, shockingly, they got beat. And they got beat bad, resoundingly. Then we're going to go ahead and round it up. New year, new coach, same old Chargers. The Chargers will let you down. Find out why we think that is pretty much the norm that's going to go down. These stories and many more here at App Stupid. Let's take a quick 20 and then we'll get back on it. This is Big Vern. Drop the spot. Yes, McDonald's. I'm loving it. Order online, download the app, or visit the good folks at your local McDonald's. So, not going to go ahead and bury the lead. Let's just talk about it. Aaron Rodgers is god awful. The Jets, for all of their bluster and how he was calling press conferences saying that if you're not serious about winning, then you need to go. Remember, we covered it on our program. And that was not too long ago in the distant past. Now, they're at 2-2. And the only thing he's managed to do is beat the two worst teams in the NFL. That's right. Aaron Rodgers has only beat the two worst teams in the NFL. And I think the absolute worst team would be the Broncos if they could have got that victory. They beat the Titans and the Patriots. We'll get to the Titans situation because they're a dirty diaper of a team. And the Patriots are that's a JV team pretending to be a professional organization. They went from champions and some sort of high esteem, and now they're a laughing stock. So their fall from grace has been epic. But back to this Aaron Rodgers thing. How do you lose to the Denver Broncos? And that's a fair question. They lost to Bo Nix, weak-ass Bo Nix. He only threw for 60 yards. Not a quarter, not a half, the game. You can't beat a team that threw for 60 yards? What are we talking about right here? The third down efficiency was god-awful from the Broncos, put in that position where they had to convert to get to that first down. They were behind the 8 ball 14 times. They only converted 3 of those. This is who you lost to, 10-9. And not to mention, here it is, you all the Jets gave up 126 yards in rushing to the Broncos. I can't fathom how disgusting this game was and why the Jets lost it. How could you justify getting paid? If I'm the owner of the New York Jets, I'm looking around like, okay, we're docking everybody's pay for that. before that, we're docking to pay. Give me a quick rap album that we're promoting this month, then we'll get back on it. This is Big Vern. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. It's your boy Big Vern. You know what we do here. New hip-hop album we promoting this month. Moneybagg Yo, Speak Now. Get it where you legally consume music, whether it be Apple Music, Google Play, or Spotify. Speak Now by Moneybagg Yo. My personal favorites are Speak, P-Run, I Feel It, and Drunk Off You. Many more. Make sure you go get the album. Moneybagg Yo, Speak Now. Yo, shout out to Moneybagg Yo. It's a good album. I was listening to it. I've been rocking out this morning. But back on weak-ass Aaron Rodgers. Now, a lot of people will go ahead and tell you that this is a bad man. And not bad meaning good, but bad meaning bad. What if I told you Peyton Manning was in the NFL for less time than Aaron Rodgers and he has more Super Bowl rings? What if I told you Eli Manning was in the NFL for less time and had more championship rings? What if I told you Ben Roethlisberger was in the NFL for less time and he has more Super Bowl rings? And if Aaron Rodgers sticks around for another year, which he will because he's a greedy prima donna, if he sticks around for another year, Brett Favre would have more championship rings in the same amount of times than Aaron Rodgers. Let that sink in. Compared to his peers, he is underachieving. And yet, people treat him like he's the second coming of Tom Brady. There's no way. This guy hasn't won anything since 2010. And if you need more references for the young people who are listening to me, Aaron Rodgers hasn't won an NFC championship or Super Bowl at the same time they had an iPhone 4. Who has one of those in America? Honestly, who has an iPhone 4 right now in America listening to me talk football? Nobody. So if you can't update it and that phone is irrelevant, shouldn't he be irrelevant? Don't look at the stat sheet because he's good at stat stuffing. Stat stuffing, remember, hold on, let me park that car. Let me get in this one and then we'll spin the block. Stat stuffing is what quarterbacks do to justify getting paid a lot of money. We told you this. There are no bigger marks than football fans. When these games are out of control or guys want to put gaudy stat numbers up, they just start chucking the ball all over the place. You don't have to score. You start chucking the ball all over the place to make people think, hey, look, this guy's a baller. This guy's a gamer. And that's not true. Because no one can tell you they dialed up 42 throws for Aaron Rodgers. He had 225 yards and no touchdowns. That's the very definition of stat stuffing. Okay, so now let's spin the block. When we get back in this car, you got beat by Bo Nix, and Bo Nix had more touchdowns than you. He threw the ball almost more plays, but not the same amount of plays, or not the same amount of throws. Half the throws that you did and got half the yardage, and he has a touchdown to his name. And if I'm saying Bo Nix is garbage, what are you, sir? What are you? They didn't even have a running back that went over 78 yards. This is the Broncos. They didn't have a rusher that went over 78 yards. It's a running back room by committee. And they were able to get everything they wanted. I don't know how you go ahead and paint this up, other than to say the Jets, pretty much, they're in a bad way. At 2-2, and it looks like they're going to be 2-3 because they play the Vikings this weekend. And then they have to play the Bills on Monday night, the following weekend. I know they're going to lose to Buffalo. They could be 2-4 in about the next 2 weeks. And then you got to start wondering, who do you fire? Do you fire Robert Salah, who he actually bought into the Aaron Rodgers lie? He's been at New York for a number of years, and it hasn't produced anything. Do you get rid of Aaron Rodgers, a guy who you overpaid, who's past his prime? His prime was 2012. After that, he's just been stat stuffing. Along the way, pitch and catch. This dude is the poster child for mediocrity. And if you go and look up everything I'm telling you, you will be like, wow, yeah. How come you only got one Super Bowl in 2010? Jordy Nelson. You look at all the receivers that you had. You even had Jimmy Graham at one point. Didn't do anything with him. All of the wide receivers that have come and gone and have went to the Pro Bowl, and you just pitching and catching and throwing, and all you have to show for it is a Super Bowl. 14 years ago. So yeah, Aaron Charles Rodgers, you, my friend, are dubbed the worst out there. He's got the same amount of rings and stats as Joe Flacco. He's in that conversation at this point. If he would have stopped in about 2016, that would have went ahead and preserved his legacy. But right now, you have the same rings as Joe Flacco, Trent Dilfer. I'm just being honest. There's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, the good folks in New York City, do I have it wrong? Is Aaron Rodgers worth the squeeze? Because it is looking bad, and it's not going to get better anytime soon. We'll be back.